So, this movie is a fucking mess. It shows that without the guiding light of Wes Craven, you can't even make these movies properly. I might not be a fan, but I care enough about Craven's legacy that I want to try and fix this messy crapfest of a film with 5 relatively simple changes. Number 1, Dewey doesn't divorce Gail. I wanted to start off with a really small one to the point where it's kinda inconsequential, but I feel as though having it stays true to Dewey's character. In the movie, it's revealed that Dewey divorced Gail after they moved to New York together, and he moved back to Woodsboro. Now, no way would Dewey do this. Dewey would try his darndest to make the marriage between him and Gail work no matter what. And the fact he loved Gail so much. So it just doesn't feel right. I would change it so that Gail would divorce him. While I would hate to make Gail seem like the bitch, I just feel it makes more sense for her character to divorce him rather than the other way around. Personally, I wouldn't have them divorce at all, but you need to set up his death properly in the movie, and him making that sacrifice seems like him being the hero in the end, like he always was, despite his lapse. Again, very small. So moving on. Number 2, changing the character of Wes. Okay, so you have a character named Wes in your movie that is part of a franchise created by Wes Craven in order to homage him and what he did. Great. So what do you do with him? You have him killed off unceremoniously in one of the worst parts of the movie. Okay. That really, really fucking irked me. You have this commemorative character in your movie and you just kill him off. That's really fucking dumb to me, and seems like kind of a fuck you to Craven as the creator. Kind of like how Spider-Man Far From Home had Uncle Ben's suitcase explode, and it was treated as a joke. Not quite as bad, but still pretty bad. Yes, they did have that toast in the movie where they were like, to Wes, which was kind of nice, but the fact that you created a character named Wes, and then killed him, just to have that toast so you can honor the creator. Kinda piss poor in my eyes. What I think should happen is not only not have Wes die, but eventually he gets the final kill. So, with the scene in his house, it's more of a struggle until Judy arrives. We see her get killed inside the house, not outside because that would be fucking stupid. And we see Ghostface just coming towards Wes, he screams, and then it cuts to the next scene. And thanks to the unspoken rule of if a character gets killed off screen, they might not be dead. So once the killers are revealed in this version, the whole scene happens, although tweaked, and we will get to that soon. One of them is on the ground and we get the final scare. Wes comes out of nowhere and shoots them dead. Everybody's asking what happened to him and how he survived, and he just says, it's not that easy to kill Wes. Or something cheesy like that. It would be stupid, but it would be funny, and at least would honor Craven's legacy better than in the actual movie. Also, having the character of Wes kill Ghostface, since that was the whole aspect of Scream in the first place. It was supposed to kill the slasher genre by making fun of it, but ironically, in a cruel twist of fate, only made it more popular. And it would be funny to have everything come full circle with Wes killing the franchise. Plus, this movie kind of took itself too seriously despite being satire, so adding some cheesiness like in the original 4 movies could have helped it. Number 3, changing the identity of the killers. This is a big one. So the killers in this version are Jack Quaid and what was her name again? Whatever the fuck her name is. I'm just gonna call her Ashley. I don't know if that's her name, but that's what I'm calling her, and I'm too lazy to look it up while writing this. So the reason that Jack Quaid and Ashley are killing is because they didn't like a movie. Yeah. All the other murders in all the other movies were actually interesting and had a proper drive. Yet here, they didn't like a movie. Look, okay, even if that stupidity is intentional, it's still too stupid even for this franchise. Hell, that shit is too fucking stupid for the goddamn Scary Movie franchise. Come on now. Also, before people yell at me in the comments, there's a difference between cheesiness and stupidity. But moving on. I propose that the killers instead should be Mindy and Tara. Yeah, way more fucking interesting, right? So, instead of the reason for the killings being dumb as fuck, instead it's simply Mindy being this much of a horror fanatic that she wants to recreate the original killings in the town and the original house to match the finale of the original stab. Then, on top of that, have the irony of Tara being the killer, despite Sam's father being Billy Loomis. So while she doesn't have quote-unquote evil blood running through her veins, she became a killer. The reasoning could be that maybe Tara was frustrated that she left her, maybe it's for similar reasons as Mindy, something along those lines. Like, after she gets attacked, she knew Sam would come running. As well as having the niece of a legacy character be the killer. How awesome is that? Despite Randy being the expert and being most people's favorite character, she flips the idea of the horror nerd on its head. The opening scene would be restructured slightly so that it feels a bit more fake. And we think, oh, it's just part of the satire, when in reality, Tara is playing it up for the cameras around her house, which I'm pretty sure she has, but if she doesn't, I can add them in. Then, her surviving makes even more sense. Plus, with Jack Quaid being the villain, there's too many plot holes to count. Like how Sam could have said, no, I don't want you to come to Woodsboro, or the inhaler not being that big of a deal, showcased in the movie. Hell, in my version, the inhaler scene would have made way more sense because it's Tara insisting they go back rather than the off chance that Jack Quaid steals the inhaler, and it's not that big of a deal because you can just go to another drugstore to get it. Like, that's a thing. You can go to a CVS in another town and be like, hey, I need to pick up an inhaler. Oh, yeah, that's like a fucking thing. Like, what? I don't know why they made it like such a big deal. But all of it is fixed, so we're moving on. Number 4, no toxic fandom bullshit. This would be more so leeching off of the previous change, but since the killings aren't, I hated this movie because it sucked, but the director is an idiot who thinks constructive criticism is trolling driven, there would be none of that. And no monologue from Mindy earlier on about fucking toxic fandom either. Just none of it in the movie because it's a stupid idea that keeps getting perpetuated by idiots. Plus, more of a side note, the horror community is one of the nicest, kindest, sweetest, most awesome communities that I've had the pleasure of being a part of. So when you're complaining about toxic fandoms, even if it was a thing, you're preaching to the wrong fucking people, man. Finally, number 5, fucking fix Sam's continuity. This is more of a bonus one, but this is an easy fix because you can change like a line of dialogue, and that's it. So, Sam was born in 1996. She left home when she was 13, and now she's 22, and it's 2022. That's like basic fucking math, guys. Come on. 1996 plus 22 is 2018. Just make it so that she left when she was 17, or left permanently when she went off to college. Or make the character fucking older. The actress is fucking 31. You can afford to make her a little bit older. The fact that stupid shit like this got into the movie feels like they went with the first fucking draft. It just makes it feel so much dumber when it shouldn't have been. Alright, anyway, that's how I would change Scream 5. Honestly, it's mostly one big change and some smaller changes that would help improve the storytelling. But I think this would make it a better and more engaging movie. Would it make it great? No, but it would be better than the shit we got. Better killers, better fitting legacy to Wes Craven, better characterization, and getting rid of some stupid shit. But that's all for now. See you next time.